Hello, everybody. Bogdanovich made a film in 1972 called What's Up, Doc? Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal acted in that film. It was a very, very funny film. It's kind of designed after screwball comedies of 30s and 40s. Hilarious, fast. I saw that in San Francisco in 72 before I went to India for a short visit. And it just happened that it was running in India at that time, in Mumbai, Bombay then. And I went to see that with a couple of my friends. Now, the friends were good at English, but not very good, one. And two, they were not exposed to the American culture as I was. Two. So what happened is we went and sat down and the usual cartoons and little short trailers and stuff like that. There was a break interval, and then the movie was to start. So I was telling them, I said, this film is very funny and you'll really enjoy it. I had a good time, and it's all filmed in San Francisco. That's where I live. So they were all kind of, very happy about it. And the movie started, and even though I had seen it only 6 or 8 months before then, I would crack up at jokes. I would laugh aloud. I didn't try to show it off, but I just laughed. And people, the audience, many of them would kind of look at me like this because some of them, or many of them, didn't catch some of the jokes, couldn't catch it. And so they would kind of look at me funny and say, what is this guy laughing about? What's so funny? A couple of times I laughed so hard, then I realized that I am doing this, I shouldn't be doing this, not because it's bad manners or anything, but I thought people would feel that I was showing off or something. I told my friend next to me, I said, Nitin, sorry, but મને બહુ હસવું આવે છે. I just can't help it. I'm cracking up. So he looked at me, he said, yeah, I see that, but we don't find it that funny. I said, I'm sorry, but at any event, we saw the whole film, and then we were all, like all three of us gathered in a small Irani hotels to eat something. And I told them a little bit of the story, gave them a background about bringing up baby and all those films that were made in the 30s, screwball comedies as they were called, and then explained to them that this film was kind of a tribute or a homage to all these crazy films that came in the 30s and 40s. And I said Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal, they were really excellent in reproducing those roles. They got some of it and they just shrugged it off. I said, yeah, yeah, good, good. But a waiter, yeah, lao, wo lao. I said, yeah, I know, I know. So we just let it go at that. Um, it's interesting how we all react to certain things in certain films, certain books, fiction, certain songs. I remember when Varsha came to America in 75, she joined me in 75. We went to see a film. I think it was, no, we didn't go. It was on television. We saw the film The Party, and it's Peter Sellers' film. It's really funny. It's about this Indian extra who works in Hollywood. He accidentally gets an invitation to a very sophisticated a huge extravaganza Hollywood party. And what a misfit he is, you know. And Peter Sellers, you know him, how good an actor he was. So they all kind of get together and make fun of him, and he's a sure prey, you know. And Varsha saw 15 or 20 minutes of that, and she got up, said, "You are laughing like this. This is an insult to an Indian culture. And how can you laugh?" She just walked away. She was very upset. I said, I'd seen the film before. I said, Varsha, it's not that. It's just, she said, no, 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 I don't want to see it. Sorry. I said, okay, I saw it again. This was in 76. She came in late 75. This happened in 76. 2 or 2.5 or 3 years later, the film was shown again on television. And I didn't tell her that it's the same film. I said, Varsha, it's an interesting film. Let's watch it. And so it started. She said, oh, I don't want to watch this film. I've seen. I said, no, 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 no. Just sit down and watch a little bit. You know, if you don't like it, you're always welcome to get up. She sat there and she started laughing. She enjoyed the film. I said, see, I said, it's not insulting an Indian or a culture. It's just that when somebody from one culture is thrown into a huge swimming pool of another culture, this is what happens. It could have very well been an American in India or a British in India. I'm sure that happened often. And I said, we laugh at that. We laugh at the situation, and not because he is an Indian and because we are Indians and because the Americans are making fun of that Indian. She said, yeah, you're right. That only goes to show that um, exposure to different cultures, exposure to how other people look at you helps to understand ourselves. I always feel that way. That's very true. Have you all seen The Party? I'm sure it's on YouTube. You can see it. It's a really hilarious film. Our son Devin, he was what, 9, 10, when he saw the film with us the second time, you know, when Varsha watched it too, and he just cracked up too, you know. And then we had this joke about Birdie Num Num and all those things which were in the film. So do see it and think of what I always think, what I always say, that different cultures think differently, and yet basically they're all the same. It's not my own thinking. It's been said by everybody, all the sociologists and big guys. You know, they all say this, and I've lived through it, so I know it. Bye bye.